Hello, everyone. My name is Christy Lewis, and I help elementary teachers systematize their writing instruction to create more engaged, motivated, and successful students. I am glad you are here. We are going to be talking all about topic sentences starters. So let's go ahead and dive right in. If you are watching the replay, go ahead and type replay into the chat. If you are here, feel free to go ahead and put your questions in there, and I'll be interacting with those as well. I want to ask you a question. Can you relate to this? Do your students struggle with topic sentences? Is that something that you face in your classroom? So today we're going to cover what is the purpose of a topic sentence? Where do they belong in a writing piece? And how are students able to come up with these topic sentences? So that is the goal for today. Before we get started, I want to make sure you have the opportunity to grab this writing prompts freebie here. It's a download if you want to grab it. You can see the URL on the screen here. I'm also going to go ahead and put it up here on the screen, and then I will go ahead and put it in the chat as well. But you can go ahead and grab that there. This download goes directly with what we're going to be talking about today. This one is ditching your canned writing prompts and watching along with our topic sentence topic today. So let's go ahead, you grab that. And again, I will, after the live, I'll go ahead and put that in the chat so you can easily grab it. So I want to talk about my own experience in the classroom teaching writing. The biggest feat that I faced while I was in the classroom is when we were writing, and we were specifically writing topic sentences, my students would always start with, I am going to tell you about, or today I am going to talk to you about. And that would be how their topic sentences would start. And so now as I'm teaching students how to perfect this and how to be confident with creating topic sentences, I tell them, scratch that, we don't want that. And so that's a typical issue that I faced in the classroom. And if you have some specific pain points that you deal with in your classroom and when you're teaching writing, I'd love to hear about those. But for me specifically, that's one thing that just got under my skin was today I'm going to tell you about. And that's just because when students are writing, that's how they express themselves. It's how they're going to share with people what they're going to write about. But we definitely want to get away from that mindset. All right. So let's go ahead and talk about how things changed for me going from that I'm going to tell you about topic sentence type to more content driven topic sentences, more sentences that had meat in them, had objectives in them, had purpose. And so want to go ahead and share that it talks about here you can see these little bookmarks here. That's one option. So I had that URL in there for you guys to grab. But when we are giving students choice or opportunities to share their experiences and giving them a place to put those experiences, like these little bookmarks, and it allows them to talk about things that they know how to make, or things that they know how to do, or places they have been, or experiences they have had, or even maybe opinions or things that they want to wish that they could change, and a persuasive, all these things. It gives them an opportunity to put their ideas down onto paper. There's also this writing vault here where it's just simply a place for students to just brain dump everything that they want to write about when that time comes. But what this will allow students to, when they go to write their topic sentences, they will be able to grab from this place, and then it will be easy to convert it to a topic sentence. So once they have a place to jot down all of their ideas, when it comes time to writing topic sentences, we specifically want to make sure that they are provided with the tools that they need, which we'll go ahead and go into in the next couple slides here. But topic sentences are based off of the writing genre, and it basically, we're going to tells the reader what the whole thing is going to be about. Now, if you are writing one paragraph with your students, and that's where they are in their writing journey, the topic sentence typically starts at the top. That's your first sentence. And it tells the reader what the whole thing is going to be about without saying, I am going to tell you about. So we teach the students how to create those topic sentences and write them with purpose. But it tells the reader what the whole thing is going to be about. It also, once that sentence is read by the reader, tells them whether they are going to continue to read it or they're not interested. So your reader should know what your paper or paragraph is going to be about of that topic sentence. Now, as they get into their paragraph and as they complete it, you then kind of backtrack and teach them. We want to make sure that all of our sentences below that topic sentence go back to that, but that comes in later lessons. So the second question is, where do topic sentences belong? Where do they go? And again, if you're writing one paragraph, then that will be at the top of your paragraph. Now, if there's multiple paragraphs, some people say you put a topic sentence at the beginning of each sentence. What I would suggest is, and we'll get into this in another live, but transition sentences. So transition sentence is basically, it helps the readers flow from one part of your paper to another, but more or less the transition sentence tells the reader what that whole paragraph is going to be about. So I always like to teach my students that that topic sentence, that very first sentence, the hook, okay, it tells the reader what the whole thing is going to be about. And then again, later on, as you do multiple paragraphs, then you will have transition sentences that will allow readers to know where you are in the process. It just helps the paper flow. All right. And then number 3, how are students able to come up with them? So this is the exciting part. So first off, the steps that I would provide or share with you is that first off, as mentioned, you want to allow students to jot down their experiences. So going back to the bookmarks or the writing vault, okay, you want them to be allowed to put those somewhere. Get those ideas onto paper. All right. Then number 2, provide them with a clear and applicable writing template to help them outline their thoughts. So again, this is the pre-writing part. So if you are a web type, where you give them instructions, you guys use a web. And in my case, I do something called jotting, and it's more of a linear outline. So they need somewhere to go with those ideas, but they need to put them down in an outline to get their thoughts onto paper. Then this is a very, very powerful tool here, giving them sentence starters. So when students are writing topic sentences, in the beginning, we can scaffold this, but we can provide sentence starters to them so that they can take their idea that they've thought about, get it onto paper, and then when they go take their pre-writing piece, their outline, and they go into the rough draft portion, and that's where they're doing their topic sentence, you can give them sentence starters to get them started. Now, these sentence starters are different based off of the writing genre. So number 4 would be to make sure that your students know the objective of the writing genre and the purpose of it. And then with that writing genre you are teaching, provide them some sentence starters. So let me go back to the slide here that talked about the types. I think, whoops, going backwards here. Let me go here. So if you can see here on the sentence starters sheet, you can see how I have it broken down. There's 4 examples of writing genres here. We have expository, personal narrative, opinion, and persuasive. And what I've done is this little anchor chart that the students can use, and it's wonderful because it's great for the teacher and the student, same exact material. But what you can see here is that if we are specifically talking about, let's say, a personal narrative where they're sharing their experiences, remember, if they have these bookmarks and they're able to jot down all the different places they've been, and maybe it could have been a restaurant or first time at the movie theater or their play date experience, whatever it is, they've jotted these things down either on the bookmarks or in the vault, somewhere where they've gotten them down. But when it comes time to the outline, and this is an example of an outline based off of your students' strength, kind of where they are in their journey, but they can get that idea onto their outline. That's the pre-write. When they go to draft, if we are working on a personal narrative, and I have shared with my students what a personal narrative is, what the purpose of it is, then I teach them about what I call a when and where topic sentence. So I inform them that based off of this experience you're sharing, for example, I'll use a Christmas we celebrated at Disneyland. So it tells me when I went there and where I went. So then what happens is they can choose, and I always tell them this is not all of the options. That's not it. These are just some ideas. What will happen is when they start getting comfortable with these sentence starters, then later on they'll say, well, can I use this or can I use this? They'll be more motivated to create their own. But what will happen is, for example, if I'm using the Disneyland Christmas that I put on my bookmark or in my vault, my topic sentence might say, I will never forget the time I went to Disneyland for Christmas. Okay, they can fill in what was on their outline and put it into their complete sentence. Or my favorite memory of Christmas was when we were at Disneyland. Okay, or the trip to Disneyland was so much fun during our Christmas, something like that. So there's a lot of different ways you could do it. And as you can see, these are just examples. I'm not telling them what to say. I'm giving them a choice of what to use. And again, not the only options. Okay. But I'm having them take the choice of their topic around the genre that I'm teaching. And then they take their outline that they created from their bookmark or from their idea. And then we stretch it out in that topic sentence. So what this does is it alleviates, I am going to tell you about. Let me tell you about. Today I'm going to tell you about. And I don't have to cringe when we are writing sentences. And it gets really exciting because they have a plethora then of ideas for their topic sentence. Now, when we write another narrative or when they are writing again, free time or whatever it is, when they're experiencing and interacting with a personal narrative, they then will be encouraged to use another sentence starter that they haven't used before. So super, super powerful. So that fourth step here is you want to make sure they understand this is after teaching them the genre and the purpose and the objective about it, but then they're provided those sentence starters. So really, really powerful stuff there. So I want to ask you, wouldn't it be amazing if you had students that were excited to write, right? They don't just get caught up right on that first sentence and then just shut down and then you're not getting anything out of them. It would be awesome to have students that are strong, they have strong knowledge of the writing genres, right? You want to be able to produce students that have this overall concept. They're comfortable and they're familiar with all of the different writing genres. We want writers that are confident to share their ideas. We don't want them to be, no longer do we want them to be feeling defeated when they were asked to write. And we want students that are able to be examples to others who have been in their shoes and they can share the light. They could say, hey, I know that it's scary. I've been there. I used to be like this. And now they are confident writers. And, as well as I do, that when we have students, it's like this competition, this peer competition. And when one student sees somebody now being confident to share and coming up with ideas, and it's like, oh, I can do that. Right. So it's very, very powerful. So that would be and is always my goal when it comes to teaching, but specifically teaching writing. So I wanted to get this up here again for you. You can grab this. Again, I'm going to put it right here. So you guys can grab this. And again, I'll put it in the chat. But you can grab these bookmarks here. And again, it's just, you can use them how you'd like. They can be laminated and put on a ring after students fill them in. They don't all need to be, provided to the students at once, but per the genre you're talking about. So that is that. And again, I'll put it in the chat afterwards. This is the vault I was talking about. This is another free download. It's just another opportunity, a place for your students to brain dump their ideas, again, prior to them doing the pre-writing portion. In this download, this one actually takes them through the writing process up to editing and revising. So you can grab that one here on this link here. Now, as we are wrapping up, if you guys have any questions, feel free to pop them into the chat and I will be interacting with those. I wanted to also invite you to join the Crack the Writing Code waitlist. We will be opening cart to our first writing course. It's a self-paced writing course for elementary teachers, and that opens up June 20th. Of this year. So we want to make sure if you are interested in that or know anybody that's interested, feel free to get on the wait list. I'll pop that right here. And again, all these links will be in the chat. So just click on them after the live. So we hope you can join us there. And then that way you can get on the wait list or the email that we will be updating you as we get closer and closer and closer. And then once you join the wait list, you can grab the bingo card. It's fun to interact with, do some exciting activities, and get the word out there. And then we will have a drawing for those of us that participate, and would love to have you be a part of our Facebook group. If you aren't already, it's the Elementary Writing Strategies Teacher Community, and you can join us. There's some questions that we need to ask for members to join prior to, but we would love to have you in there and engage with one another, and all of us get to know each other. So as we close up, thank you so much for joining us. At the end of the day, we want to make sure that we are equipping, empowering, and elevating our students so that they can become those confident writers that we know that they can be. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to pop them in the chat. Like I said, if you're watching the replay, type replay. Love to interact with you guys. Thank you for joining me. And I'm going to check the comments real quick. And I will see you next Friday. If you have ever any topics that you would like us to talk about on our Friday Focus Friday or Writing Focus Fridays, leave those in the chat. And I would love to speak on those in future lives. So with that, you guys have a wonderful rest of your day and a wonderful and blessed weekend. And I will see you guys soon. Bye.